I think it's when you disrespect yourself. And it's so hard. It's so hard because you always see the good in people. And that's my person. Like, I don't want to start crying. Triggering.
Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. Welcome back to Alfa Bella y Mística. Today it's been a long-waited episode. I have, if not one of my best friends, Jamie.
Hello.
So this is Jamie. Jamie and I have been friends for how long?
It's been forever.
Right? Like
20 years plus.
20 years. Definitely we grew up, together, even though our lives, changed over time. She moved out of state and had her own life, but eventually we kept in touch and that connection never really stopped, right?
Yeah.
And during that time, she had her own personal life. She went through relationships and friendships and different seasons of her life that she experienced, right? And so today I was like, you know what? Why don't we talk about relationships?
Yeah. And then also we both went to college. So we got different exposures. And so, yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't know, we both majored in psychology. So guys, watch out because we're
Minds.
we're also very spiritual. I think those are very key concepts that we can bond over that are essential to our friendship, right? Beyond.
Yeah.
I know we have some questions that,
Some hot takes.
yes, on relationships, right? And this is not just for the girlies, this is for the men too that want to understand the woman, right? They want to understand our perspectives and the dynamics around that. So I think we should start out hot with
Which one?
okay, so what do you think about men liking women's pictures?
I think it's very obvious. I think that probably limiting that. I don't know why I'm nervous. What was I gonna say on that one?
Okay. Personally, in this area of, time that we are now, social media is everything, right? So I can freely say that maybe a lot of the problems that relationships have are because of social media. And I think that the simple fact that a man wants to like a picture is giving the other person the attention.
Yeah. It's like, and I think also, I think it's just disrespectful. And like, why are you in her likes? I don't know. It's just also kind of icky to me that a man is like in a relationship, in a committed relationship, and just doing that. I just think it looks bad overall.
I think it's about security and respect, like you said. Yeah. Because if you are in a content relationship, there's no need for you to give validation to someone else.
Exactly.
Specifically if they're showing their body or it's like a thirst trap or you're like, okay, you like that?
Yeah. And I think it's important to have this conversation with your partner as well, because what you think, what you find disrespectful, the other, your partner might not find. So I think having that conversation, but what do you think?
I think establishing boundaries from the beginning. Yeah. I know some women may not care if their man is liking other people's, like, oh, it's okay if he has girlfriends. Like,
yeah,
I'm not insecure. But if, as a woman, you feel like that's doing too much,
right,
and you let him know from the beginning, he has that boundary that is going to cause insecurity in me, right? Yeah. So just avoid it.
Yeah.
He's like, sometimes I know men can be like, it's just a tap, or I'm just not even looking. It's like, boy,
Let's be real.
then just scroll. You can see, but just scroll. It's gonna save your girl insecurity,
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
It creates a bigger issue than it actually is. Just don't do it.
Just avoid it. Easy.
I'm gonna be honest. I avoid it. I'm like, there's no reason for my man to see that I liked, especially Instagram being messy
Right.
by showing who you're.
Liking what you're liking.
Yes.
Yeah, there's like a feature on there. You can see what they like.
Pretty messy for Instagram to be, but it's the truth. It's about boundaries. Right?
It's about boundaries, respect.
Going off of that, what do you think about women who post thirst traps while they're in a relationship? So this woman, she goes to the gym. She looks bomb. And you go, girl. You look good. You're working hard. But now you're posting it online for other people to see. Yeah.
I think, like I said, obviously it's a conversation to have, but I don't know. I go to the gym and I like posting my progress, and I think seeing other women go to the gym and also posting their progress, it's something that like it's like kind of like a community. And I don't do it with the intent of like getting guys' attention, more like for my girls to see, and kind of hype each other up. So I think it should be a conversation to have beforehand. But I don't know, if it's something that your partner, doesn't like, then tone it down a bit. But I don't think it should be something that's like they're controlling you. Like, no, you can't, What do you think?
I think, honestly, I may contradict you a little bit. Just personally, myself, like I said, about the validation. If my man is giving me that validation, I know I have other male on there, or sometimes my profile is public where many people can access my pictures, right? I'm not gonna be looking for that validation. Like I said, if maybe it is for girls, I love like encouraging one another, weight loss, especially you're on I would do like a group just for us where we share, right? Rather than exposing my body out there and being like, give me attention, because that's going to make my man insecure, maybe indirectly. And I just don't want to push that limit where I'm like, I want him to be secure. You know what I mean? And the same goes with like revealing clothes, like my man does not care what I wear. I could wear a bikini, I could wear like, the thing is, I want to respect them. I want to respect them the same way I wouldn't want him to be liking, those type of pictures. So it's a mutual respect. But I get what you're saying.
And I feel like sometimes definitely it could be a double standard. Yeah, I just think it's like the intent behind it that matters too. But like I said, a conversation is to be had with your partner about it.
That's the whole thing. There has to be the intention, right? Yeah. If you're doing it to piss him off or to get attention from guys or even women, it's the intention behind everything.
The next one is your man following your friends on social media. What if he's like, goes through your following and like, oh, okay, I know that she's friends with her. Let me go at her. How do you feel about that?
Ouch. That's all I'm going to say. Ouch. Because I think your friends are your friends. It's okay to get along with your partner. Absolutely, they should. if they're going to be in your circle, if you want that friendship to be involved in your life. But that's my friend.
Stay away.
That's my friend, not your friend. Right? I think you expose yourself to a space where you're bringing temptation. Even if it's very innocent, I feel like there's like an evil behind, not an evil, but like something.
Like you're opening a door to things you may not be expecting, you know? It's not like how do you put that into words? Like you're opening a door up to the unknown.
Yeah.
That could happen.
And it's not out of insecurity. It's about respect.
Mm-hmm.
Would you follow your man's friends? Or because you met him once or twice or 3 times?
Yeah. No, I wouldn't. And I think that's just, I don't know, kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, because I feel like I would get that and I'd be like, oh, that's weird. I don't even know them. I don't know.
What if the case is like, let's say me and you, your husband and my husband are friends, but then my husband follows you, and then your husband follows me. What is the dynamic like that?
Married?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think my perspective on social media has changed, especially like I feel like during this time now, I'm going through some changes and I don't know. I think my social media I just want to have just for me and I don't know. I don't think I would want to accept that.
For me, it's absolutely not. That's it. Because, like I said, there's no reason.
Yeah.
I trust you to bring you around my home and around my husband, but there's no need for that intimate between you and my husband, my relationship. There's no need for that. Whatever you need to find or see or whatever, it goes through me, not through my partner. There's no sense of like having to have that, communication or intimate friendship, right?
Right.
And it could be seen as like toxic for some people.
Right. Yeah.
But my mom always told me, you never bring a woman to your home. It's anyone, even if it's your own sister, your own cousin, your own, you just don't want to put that person and yourself in that spot.
And you never know. And like I said, it's opening that door to, it's just keep it closed.
So back to your question, is it okay for your man and your friends to follow each other?
Yeah, no.
Point blank period, right? Like, no. Yeah. I'm not going to tolerate that, and I'm not going to follow your friends either. I have no business knowing what you're doing. Yeah. If I want to keep tabs on you, I'll put a tracker on you. I'm just kidding.
Like, even, like, here's a scenario. What if, like, your person is planning something, like, surprise for you? Like, a surprise for you?
Okay. So, you're saying, like, what if your partner is trying to get help from your friends to plan, like, a birthday party, even a proposal?
Yeah. Something. Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. I don't know. I think you could message them, but I don't know. There's no reason to be going and following and then, like, for what?
Exactly. Yeah. In the past, that's happened to me where one of my friends was following my partner at the time. And even when me and him broke up, she was still following him. And I was like, you're fake. Yeah. You're fake.
Because there's no reason to be keeping up with. Right. Yeah.
Like, I'm confused. Like, why are you still... Hello? Whose side are you on? Yeah. Ah.
I guess this kind of goes over the double standard, and we kind of already touched on that, but are men and women judged differently for the same behavior?
Give us an example.
So we already gave um, the posting and stuff.
Okay, I got a good one.
Or,
I know because it happened in my relationship, so I'm gonna. Girls, there tends to be a time where we have a gay friend. And men usually don't have lesbian friends. Right?
yeah.
You really don't see a lesbian friend with them. So, is it okay for the woman to be like, if he's just a friend and he's gay? So you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But then men don't really go through that. So we don't feel like, what if it was a feminine girl, but lesbian?
Okay.
And you're like, no, because she's still a woman.
Yeah.
I don't care if she likes girls.
Yeah.
Us women were like, dude, he's gay. He doesn't like girls, you know?
I think, I don't know, because I'm thinking about myself that I do have gay friends, and in the past, like, that's never been an issue, but I don't think I've had partners that were friends with a woman that likes the same sex. But I think I would trust my partner, especially if he's putting the trust in me with my gay friend. Like, why not? Yeah. But I see the double standard that you're talking about.
I feel like I'd be a little iffy. What if she's a beautiful lesbian?
Yeah.
And they're spending a lot of time together, like they're besties. I'm gonna be like, no.
Yeah. I feel like I would want to get to know her too. But then here goes another one. Here's another question. Is it okay for a man to have a girl best friend?
Absolutely not.
I agree. I agree. Because I've been in relationships where my partner at the time doesn't have any girlfriends. Yeah. And I've also had where he does. And it's like, no, it's a big no for me, especially with my experience.
I'm going to give you an example, and I don't know if I'm going to get scolded by my partner. When I met him, he was part of a big community of bikers. And 20% of that is women. And of course, his following is full of those women. And I'm like, I don't want to tell you to not follow them or not be friends with them because they're part of the group. You've known them longer than me. But at the same time, like, you don't need girlfriends. You were already following them when I met you. Like, it's not like you followed them after. But it's about the respect. You know, I wouldn't, like I said, I go back to I wouldn't do that to him. I grew up with all guys. You know, we both grew up with all guys. In our elementary school, the guy to woman ratio was different. And it was super small school. So most of the guys we grew up, it's like a few girls and like 15 guys.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you explain to your partner, oh yeah, I grew up with the guys, but I don't hang out with them anymore.
Yeah.
Because now you're my husband. I got to respect you. I'm not going to put myself in a spot where I'm going to make you feel like insecure or, you know, even if I grew up with them since we were in kinder.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I think, you know, being friends, like on the other side as me being friends with the man who got a partner, like I would totally respect like them pull like retrieving or like stepping back. I'm like, you go.
Exactly. Because us as women, we sit on both sides of the table, you know? I know one of my friends, she got married. Shout out to Cassandra. I know you're listening to this. We grew up with some of the guys, and I remember one of the guys like, "Oh, Elizabeth doesn't hang out with us anymore. She's fake." And it was you, Christian. And then Cassandra's like, you know what? She has her husband, her partner. Like, it's not like when we were kids and she was single. We were all friends. Nobody had a partner, so it was okay.
Yeah.
Now there is a different season where you have to respect.
Yeah. And I think also take into consideration like we're older too, and we're not in college anymore. So that does look different. So, take our hot takes with like with a grain of salt because our circumstances are, could be different. But I think, the older you get, it's like, all right, let's get serious. Exactly. Like it's not, some people grow up to our, we're in our late 20s. We're in our late 20s and like I know people that still have the same mentality from when we were in college. And nothing wrong with that, but I just see myself like kind of into different things now. I'm at, like you said, a different season. Yeah. But yeah.
Dude, the thing is, you said a very important thing. Like, I feel like these are high school issues. The whole, she's your friend. Bro, this is draining. I don't have time to deal with this. Mm-hmm. This was such a high school problem. Now it's money. It's things about our household that's about, growing up.
Yeah.
That shit is way left in the past. Like, a man should really know, I don't need girlfriends. I don't need to be messaging my childhood friend.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, no, you
Us
really.
Women too. We should not have to be hitting up, whoever we knew in 2010 or whatever. You're in a different position to understand. Mm-hmm. It's not right.
Yeah.
That's a good question. That's a
question.
Okay, this one, I know it may bring a lot of controversy. Why do women stay after men cheat?
Yeah. Why did I stay?
Why did you stay?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Honestly, it like I don't think there's ever a time that you should stay. Now, with my experience and then being grown, and I just think there should never be a time. But why? I remember at the time when I was young, way younger, and in my mind at the time I was like, oh well, we're young, like it's bound to happen. And I think the advice like from older people too, especially like the older generation, it's like, oh well, men cheat, like it's just brush it off. And I took that advice, and man, I was in a relationship, but it felt so lonely.
That's the thing is, with this topic, back then women were told to stay regardless if that man cheated, if he fucking hit you, right? But because women depended on that man. But now we're in 2026 where a woman is very educated, very successful, independent. I think we value ourselves more.
Right.
We learn to say, I am that feminine. You will not disrespect me. Especially when a woman is good. You know, no woman should be, even if you're the biggest bitch, you should not be cheated on. But even though good women get cheated on, the one who stays with you in dark times, the one who cleans for you, cooks, and they get cheated on. And I think it's more about us, what we tolerate, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I've been cheated on before too. Why did I stay? Because I wanted to make it work. I loved him. And I genuinely can say I did. He was my first love. Like, and I thought I could get past it. But you know what? It took 4 or 5 years and I still felt that pain as the first day. Yeah. I never got over the cheating. Right? Until this day, I was like, I didn't deserve that. So now, this time around, I'm like, you do it once and I'm done.
Yeah. And it's like at the time, you know, of the cheating, and then when you try to, you know, brush it off, try to forgive them, like you said, like those feelings do come back as if it was happening again. And like your body can't distinguish, it has a hard time between, you know, the past and then, how do you say it, like it keep occurring. That same pain is going to feel the same. Yes. Do you think there's ever a time?
That's very important to say. Either one, you live with that constant anxiety, like he's always good cheating on you. You're always gonna feel that if you decide to stay, or you're numb. That's it. Those two options. You're numb to where you're like, I know he's cheating. I don't give a fuck. I'm still here. Those are the two options. You live with the cheating. The third is you learn to accept it and just hope that the person is doing you right now, like good. Yeah. That he will never fumble you again, you know? That's, I mean, it takes a lot of balls to move on.
With the person.
Exactly.
And yeah, the only thing you can fall back on is, you know, hoping for the best. Mm-hmm. And also, like, everything comes to light. Exactly. Everything eventually comes to light. So, but man, oh my gosh, I can't imagine. That sounds so painful, trying to move on with the person and then hoping that they're not doing you dirty.
Yeah. And the thing is, once somebody cheats on you, the rest of the people that you date are going to deal with the consequences.
That's right.
It's like you're not going to trust as easily. Yeah. Until you learn to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's not the other person, it's yourself carrying baggage from your previous relationships. And people don't sit down on that awareness. They don't connect the dots.
And it's like you can do, you know, you think you're healed. You think you've done all the healing. Mm-hmm. And you're ready and you put yourself out there and you're in a relationship. And then what usually happens is like you get triggered again. Even they may not have done anything, you know. But it's happened to me where I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm not healed. Because I'm getting triggered. It's like I'm feeling these feelings again. And I thought I had healed.
Exactly. Wow. That's so deep. At least you have the awareness. Yeah. Because a lot of people blame others. Or they point fingers. You're making me like this. It's you. You're reacting. maybe the other person's not even doing anything. To go off of this, do you think people change? Do you think partners can change after they fucked up in any area, not just cheating?
I think yes, people can change, but from one day to the next, no. I think change takes time, and I think for you to be able to say you changed, you know, yeah, like I said, it takes time. And I think you should take that time apart with your partner to change. I don't know. That's just the way I see it.
I think in psychology, I don't remember a lot from it, but there's stages of, acknowledgement, acceptance. Like there's stages that you have to go through in order to change. So even like, I don't know if maybe I may go off track, but like Michaela Nagura, she was with a man he had addictions. Right. Really like drugs and alcohol. And she tried to make it work. She therapy, rehab, whatever. But at the end of the day, the man, he couldn't do it. And that caused friction in their relationship. And it's maybe he did want to change, but he couldn't. Sometimes the man doesn't want to change at all. He's like, this is how I am. This is how you met me. Yeah. You got to deal with it. And that's when we're like, okay, he's not willing to change for himself. He's not going to change for me. Right? Yeah. Unless he has that awareness. If I don't change, I'm going to lose her.
Right.
So I have to change, not for her, but for me. Mm-hmm. So my consequences, my actions don't bring those consequences. I love this woman. I can't be putting her in that spot. I can't continue to cheat. I have to fix myself as a person. What is needed? Why am I cheating? Mm-hmm. Right? What am I not getting from her? What is she not giving me? What am I missing from when I was a kid that is causing me to cheat? Yeah. I think people do change.
Yeah, I think so. And like you said, it takes the reason to do it for yourself first before anyone else.
I think change is scary for many people. Yeah. I hate change.
Do you think everyone should go to therapy?
As a psychology major, yes. Yes. Because there's some things, who do you tell? Your personal things. Sometimes we tell our friends. Mm-hmm. And let's be honest, do they really care? Unless they're very close to you. Mm-hmm. Most people don't care about you, what you're going through. And you're doing, like throwing all your stuff onto that person, right? Unless that person is very close to you and understands you in a connection way, yeah. Deeper level, most people don't.
But then also, you don't want to bombard your really good friend either with all your issues too, because then that's hurtful for the friend. But I think everyone should go to therapy. It's amazing. And it takes a few tries to get, and you're not going to change right away either, but go to therapy.
I don't know what you think about this, but when you go to therapy, they don't advise you. Mm-hmm. What do they do?
For me, it's like I'm just rambling about stuff. And then they usually ask like, okay, well, how did that make you feel? And then I end up answering myself on what I should be expecting or, how to go about certain things. It's like me realizing I just need a little guidance on how to get there. But what about you?
I think they give you the ability to have your own awareness, the tools. Sometimes you don't need people to tell you what to do because you're going to do whatever you want at the end of the day. But sometimes you just need to dump it out. Put your thoughts into words and express them, right? And I think as a psychologist and therapist, they have a neutral way of putting it. They're not on your side, but they're not on the other person's or, you know, the issue side. They try to make sense out of what is. And I think everybody needs that non-biased, like, pathway to, like, express yourself, right? Yeah. Some people can talk to therapists, others to God, to a higher being. And it sounds dumb, honestly, like, to be talking to God out loud, but you know there's somebody listening. Yeah. Whatever you believe in, there is. Some people believe it's our own selves. Right?
There's a lot of ways to get that out. You have to get it out. The gym, for us, we've been going to the gym, and it has helped a lot too with managing emotions.
See, the thing about, like, psychology is really, really amazing. The nervous system. I love that topic.
Gosh.
Because your nervous system is the one that reacts. Yes, your heart hurts, but your nervous system doesn't even ask you. It reacts. You know, like, it's an inside joke between me and Jamie and my husband. He's like, you always need to go bathroom. And that's my nervous system kicking in. Like, I'm nervous, and that's the way I'm expressing it. Right. So you have all these emotions, all this trauma. It's not coming out. You gotta find a pathway to let that energy come out.
Yeah. And I've had partners in the past where they tell me, well, this is how you met me. This is what's worked for me. You know, and respect, but I think we should always be elevating. We should always be in transition to be better every day. And easier said than done, of course, because what works, and that's fine. But I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah.
I think what you said, like how the man, or not always the man, the partner says, you met me like this. That is ego. And the worst thing you can do for a relationship
is work off the ego.
Is work off the damn ego. That will destroy any family dynamic, any friendship, any relationship. Your freaking ego. Where it's like, I. It's about me. When you're in a relationship, it's we, us, our. Right? In our friendship, if it's one-sided, if one person is always the one pulling, that's because they're egoistic. It's about them. Right? And that's where, you know, that person that says, oh, you met me like this, so you chose to stay. Like, you're egoistic, bro. You're not you're selfish, not selfless. It's about your partner too. Think about them. Don't do something that's gonna, you know, like you said, we both want to grow. Imagine being stagnant. Imagine one person growing, you're dragging them to do better, to heal.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's on, you know, the other person too, to be able to identify when that's happening. And say, I don't know, is this what I want? Is this what I want? Like, you have to, as a woman, you have to know at what point you need to just walk away. Because you're also they're going to be dragging you too. As much as you don't, you know, you want to work on it, it takes two. tango.
What do you think about that? When is it time for the person to leave? How do you know it's time where you're like, I've freaking had enough?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And I don't, I, from experience, it's like I was literally taking a shower this morning and I was going to ask you, like, when I was going to ask you that same exact question. But I just like, I think it's when you disrespect yourself. And it's so hard. It's so hard because you always see the good in people. And that's my person. Like, I don't want to start crying. Triggered.
You said a very important part. When you lose yourself, that's it. When you're no longer living for yourself, you wake up and you're like, him. Not what am I going to do or what am I going to eat or what am I going to do for myself. It's him. Either he's doing this to me or this. That's when you know that his energy has taken over yours. When you're doing your, the best you can and you feel like it's not worth anything anymore.
Because you're surviving or, you're trying to do it for yourself and him. And that's just so much. That's so much to carry. And yeah, you do lose yourself in the middle of that.
I think us women, they hurt you. And you keep putting your cheek in your cheek and like slap me until one day you're like, I don't feel anything anymore. Like if I stay, I'm in pain. If I leave, I'm in pain. But if I leave, there's hope. If I stay, it's gonna be the same thing over and over again. I don't see a way out. And that's where I'm like, I have to do this for myself. I've never put myself first. Right?
Yeah.
And you will lose the spark in your eyes. You don't want to do anything. You don't have motivation for life. You're like, what am I doing here? Instead of putting my energy into something for myself, I'm over here giving him freely. As a woman when it's time. It's hard. It's like an addiction.
It is. And it really is. And it's the hardest thing you'll do. But man, it's such a great, freeing feeling once you do see yourself on the other side of things.
I think when you go through heartbreaks and breakups, it's doesn't compare to anything else besides like losing a family member, but nothing really compares to that. It's like you're mourning a person who you still know they're living their life.
Yeah. And you're mourning that version that you not the reality. You're mourning like the potential that you saw in this person. The illusion you created.
Wow. I think that's the woman's biggest thing. We plan a future, right? We envision, and that's what hurts. Because you're like, I had this plan, and now you are not going to give it to me. Yeah. It's very, very difficult. And I know personally, me and you, we talked about this, how you said, I wish maybe he would cheat on me because that would be easier for me to walk away. But what if when the guy is not fulfilling emotionally, he's not attentive, he doesn't do stuff for you, right. He doesn't put effort. Yeah. That's harder to let them go because he's not a bad person. It's just he's not a good partner. He's not fulfilling that emotional need. That's when it's like, I need to go, but I can't.
It's hard. Yeah. But sometimes I like to think like what would I tell my friend I feel like sometimes I treat my friends, you know, better than, or like advice, and I don't even take my own.
Right.
And yeah, like it's just, yeah.
Yeah. I think it's easier said than done,
For sure.
right? Um, it's easier to be like, leave that man. He treats you like shit, but then you're getting treated like shit too. I think we all need a friend to, there's things too, like you don't step boundaries too. Like I said, I can see the tendencies of you telling me your partner doesn't do this or doesn't do, but I can't really tell you don't talk to him because you have your reasoning. You spent time with him, not me. I don't know the good times, right? And it's a topic we can really go on about.